Hey everyone, Mike from Life and Surround here. Today I'm going to talk to you about two major multi-channel releases of an iconic blues rock album, Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix. We have the 2018 deluxe edition with CDs and a Blu-ray that featured Eddie Kramer's 5.1 mix from the time, and now we have the 2025 Blu-ray which features Eddie Kramer's new Atmos mix plus the high-resolution lossless original stereo mix of the album. So I'm going to try to answer the question, if you have this already, do you need this? And if you don't have this, should you pick this up? Does the Atmos mix satisfy? All right, so the big question I want to help answer is, if you have this 2018 deluxe set, and the book is wonderful, but the CDs are absolutely not worth owning because they were just so badly compressed, smashed with dynamic compression. And the 5.1 Blu-ray, though it was really the selling point for a lot of us multi-channel enthusiasts back in the day, it's an inconsistent experience and it doesn't rate all that highly amongst surround enthusiasts. So, there is room for it to be improved upon, not only with height speakers, but with a new Atmos mix. Eddie Kramer has, roughly 7 years of experience to draw upon. Now, I love it when original engineers are brought in to remix a classic album into multi-channel. I feel that they, of anyone in the entire world, has the best chance of translating what the artist really would have wanted. And in this sense, this new Atmos mix now gives me the sense that the master tapes have been opened up and have been playfully and joyfully and in Jimi Hendrix fashion, tastefully, suitably panned around the room. You have guitars, you have vocals, you have sound effects, stuff going forward, backward, modulated, natural sounding, just, as bizarre sounding as they could possibly get in the studio. Eddie Kramer was there and he knew what Jimmy wanted in stereo, and he knew how to translate that into 5.1. It just wasn't a very consistent experience. Then you fast forward to 2025. Now Eddie Kramer has Chandler Harrod's assistance to bring Electric Ladyland into the immersive field. And here is my sense. We have a late 60s recording that is preserved with all of its hissy charm, and this Atmos experience sounds like Electric Ladyland originally did. It has the original vibe, but the album comes to life all around you. It's even more psychedelic, it's even more playful, it's even more inventive. And I really do get the sense that we are listening now in Atmos to a mix that Jimmy himself not only would have loved, but, Eddie Kramer is so closely in touch with the work that maybe it's pretty much the very thing that Jimmy would have delivered for us himself. The Blu-ray, which features only stereo and Atmos, no dedicated 5.1 for those of you wondering, is a more consistent experience than the 2018 5.1. Though I found a couple of tracks to be rather sparse with their surround treatment, I surmise that to be because some tracks were originally recorded to 4-track and some to 8-track, if I recall reading correctly. And so, when an engineer simply has less to work with, I can understand making different panning choices. Now, the big song that I was hoping not to be let down for through this set was Watchtower, and I can tell you that it does ease up on the surround impact. It does seem to collapse in on itself a little bit compared to the preceding track, but it is also mixed very tastefully. It doesn't feel like a letdown to me. It feels like it carries enough consistency from the rest of the album through to the closing track that, though I could tell that, like I said, it reined itself in a little bit. It still was a very rewarding, satisfying experience. I do believe that sonically, this is a bit of an upgrade over the 2018, and in terms of just how Eddie Kramer's knowledge of what Jimmy would love matched with his help from Chandler Harrod bringing this album out into the immersive field, I believe they really have nailed it. So we have classic 60s sound, and Jimi Hendrix music has never really been, what people would think of when you think of high fidelity. But the original character of the album, I believe, has expertly and tastefully been brought out into the immersive field for you to just be drawn even deeper into this incredible album. And there are some outstanding moments in Atmos on this disc, so let's get to those now. And to start things off with a very light moment, there's this very audible cocaine snort during Rainy Day Dream Away. Starts in the upper right height speaker and comes forward to the front of the room. 1983, A Merman I Should Turn to Be. Already for the 2018 5.1 mix, this was a standout track. It carries that torch further by being one of the showcase tracks here. It's just even more effectively placed around you and swirling all around in immersive goodness. It is also a standout here. Whatever you are thinking in your head that it might sound like, I bet that's what it does. Also, during Rainy Day, I noticed an expansion of the drum set, which made me wonder for the first time listening through this Blu-ray if for some songs the drums were recorded in mono, and for others maybe they were given a stereo recording. Burning of the Midnight Lamp might be an absolute Atmos showcase track, with those blips and bleeps just ping-ponging and coming and going in the surround field, and those ethereal background vocals floating above you. And this is one of the tracks also where the drums just seem to really come out into the room. Just Jimmy's voice and bass just anchoring things down in front center. This is an awesome experience, and it is a selling point for this Blu-ray. Watchtower, though it's not destined to be one of the great Atmos tracks from this album, it is better handled than in 2018. You have percussion mostly filling out the surround field, though they managed to get some acoustic guitar textures back there with you, though I'm not sure they're completely discrete. And I really feel like they maintain an immersive quality. And then for Voodoo Child Slight Return, one of my favorite Jimi Hendrix songs of all time, you are again left with this somewhat restrained immersive field, but it's an amazing song and it does immerse you. And the album is consistent enough that I really wasn't bothered like I was in 2018. There are some tracks that are going to amaze you, and there are some where you're going to get more in touch with the source limitations. But in my opinion, if you love Jimi Hendrix, if you love this album and you want to hear it at its best and very well done in immersive, I think you owe it to yourself to track down this Blu-ray. And depending on the region you're in, you might also be able to stream this in Atmos as well. I definitely recommend trying to check this out. So if you have the 2018, do you need the 2025? In my opinion, yes, you do. If you have the 2018, you're probably the kind of person who would be interested in the 2025. It is a sonic upgrade. It is a more consistent experience. You have the true to Jimmy philosophy of Eddie Kramer bringing this amazing album out into the room with you. As if anybody would need any help tripping to this album, it's now even bolder, even more psychedelic, and even more Jimmy. The packaging is one of these cardboard affairs that I'm not absolutely nuts about, but at least the Blu-ray gets its own sleeve, though it is a cardboard sleeve. If only they'd put like a little bit of polyliner in there, that'd be perfect. I really believe that these boutique releases of A-list artists really deserve at least that. Hey, so let me know in the comments, what's your favorite immersive moment on this disc? Or do you actually prefer the 2018 5.1? Do you have both? Do you have one? Do you have the other? And as always, I appreciate your support. If you like what I do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment. I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for sharing the joy of wonderful immersive music with me. Thanks for sharing the joy of Jimi Hendrix with me this time. So cool. I just love it when iconic albums are given, uh, at least a decent immersive or surround mix. And this one really does hold up. I think we are getting a really wonderful representation of this source material in immersive. So happy listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, live life in surround.